Hi, this presentation includes an overview of an installation of hard disk drive HDD in your DVR. If you purchased your DVR without an HDD, you must install an HDD before using the DVR. Follow the guidelines here to install one. If you want to replace the HDD in your DVR, this overview can be helpful by showing the steps required and precautions you should be aware of. When selecting an HDD for installation in your DVR, ensure that the HDD has a SATA interface, is a security-grade HDD. These HDDs are designed for video streaming and have very high reliability. And lastly, it is at least 500 gigabytes. It can be as large as 4 terabytes. Mounting screws and cables are provided with your DVR. When performing this procedure, always follow electrostatic discharge practices. Your clothing and skin produces electrostatic charge that can damage the sensitive electronic components in the DVR and HDD. To minimize the effect of ESD damage, perform this installation in a clean, electrostatic-free environment if available. If one is not available, avoid touching the PC board and other internal components, and touch the chassis metal surfaces frequently to drain static from your hands before handling the HDD and chassis. If you are replacing an HDD that is currently in use, power off the DVR, then disconnect all cables attached to it before continuing. Next, remove the screws that attach the DVR top cover to the chassis. After removing the screws, slide the cover back about 1/2 inch, and then lift it off. Next, become familiar with the location of the HDD mounting screw holes in the chassis and on the underside of the HDD, as shown in the pictures. Using the ESD practices described earlier, attach the SATA data cable and SATA power cable to the mating connectors on the HDD and on the chassis PC board. Then, place the HDD into the chassis as shown, aligning the mounting screw holes in the HDD with the holes in the chassis. While holding the HDD in place in the chassis, turn the HDD and chassis over and then install the 4 HDD mounting screws. Tighten the screws until snug. Be careful not to over-tighten them. With the HDD firmly secured in place, turn the chassis right side up. Check the power and data cable connectors to make sure they are fully seated in the HDD and chassis, and then reinstall the cover. Some DVRs accommodate 2 internal HDDs. Notice the location of the 2 HDD bays and the SATA data cable connectors on the PC board. Install HDDs in the chassis one at a time, following the guidelines discussed earlier. High-capacity DVRs can include up to 4 HDD bays, with a maximum capacity of 16 terabytes of storage.